Hey y'all, it's Alec, the traveling tactical civilian, and today, sadly, we've been reminded about why we need to have situational awareness. Now, about a year ago, I did a video talking about situational awareness. I will link that at the end of this video. But what's got us so upset today is the murder of Charlie Kirk. Now, Charlie was speaking at a university in Utah, and I'll get on with kind of what happened, what we know about the shooting so far. I just saw about an hour ago that he was pronounced dead, but he was in a large university. He was at a function where he was a guest speaker. It's my understanding that they didn't really have any type of weapons check or, from what I can tell, a whole bunch of security there. But it shows why we need to really take to heart that there's evil all around us, and people are always looking to hurt one another. I would almost say it was it's like satanic demons have possessed the vulnerable in our society. I mean, we just had this stabbing of the Ukrainian refugee in North Carolina, and it just reminds me every day of why we need to be aware of what's going on around us and taking every precaution that we can take to not put ourselves in situations that we can be hurt or taken advantage of. You know, not all the incidences that we get involved in are ones where somebody's it could be at a shopping mall and your wife's not holding on to her purse, or I say your wife, your female companion or whoever's not holding on to their purse. Or I'll give you an example. We manage a campground. I take the deposit to the bank and I carry it in like a shopping bag, one of those reusable shopping bags. But I wrap that strap around my hand, I tuck the bag up underneath my arm, and I clench it tight to my body. I park as close as I can to the front door of the bank, and I've learned where the cameras are so that I try to spend as much time in camera's view, because someone that's looking to steal that bank deposit from me doesn't want to be caught on camera. They're also probably aware of the camera view, and they want to catch you in a place where you're vulnerable. And I think that's kind of what happened to Charlie. Charlie's at this event. I don't think his security or whoever was in charge of security of the area did a good job locking it down. And it's possible he became too comfortable in his surroundings. And we don't ever want to become too comfortable in our surroundings. So you need to make sure that when you're out in public that you take account of who all's around you, what people are doing, people that don't look like they fit in, people that look like they're wanting to harm you. So I want to talk a little bit about what we know about what happened with Charlie Kirk's incident. I have typed out a little something on my phone. I'm going to read it. On today's date, September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk, who is a predominant conservative activist and co-founder of Turning Point USA, was fatally shot at Utah Valley University in Utah during the first stop of the America Comeback Tour. The shooting occurred at approximately 12:10 p.m., so right after lunch, Mountain Standard Time, I believe it was, while Kirk was engaged in a Q&A session at an open air event. After we saw what happened to President Trump, I don't think I would have any open air events. There's not a lot of ways to make sure that you're safe there. It takes a lot of people, as a former cop, it takes a lot of people to lock something like that down. You should always be in a controlled environment, and even in your personal life, you should try to have yourself in a controlled environment that you're in control of. So during the event, he was answering questions about mass shootings when a single shot fired from roughly 200 yards away struck him in the neck, causing profuse bleeding. Kirk collapsed, was rushed to the local hospital, and succumbed to his injuries. You know, for me, I wouldn't want to be in an open air event. I wouldn't want to be in a place where people had an advantage to be over me, to shoot down. And I don't know if any of y'all are shooters. I love to shoot. I've owned many rifles. I've got many handguns. I was a cop for 26 years. 200-yard shot is tough. I've seen some really good hunters that aren't able to make that shot. So that even makes me question if other forces, I don't want to be too broad in this, but other forces that could have been involved. I mean, that takes a trained person to shoot 200 yards. And then, and this kind of gets me right here, says the murder has been widely condemned by figures like Vice President J.D. Vance. That's great. Utah Senator Mike Lee, great. California Governor Gavin Newsom. Why is California Governor Gavin Newsom getting involved with a conservative shooting, or the shooting of a conservative figure? Because he's about as liberal as they get, and it didn't even happen in California. So why is he even weighing in, except for he's trying to, I think he's trying to use this as a gun violence type thing so he can try to push more gun regulations down people's throats. I know he's looking at doing a run for the presidency. Good luck there, Galvin. And President Trump weighed in. President Trump always comes in and condones violence. And I find it funny that they showed the video of the guy being hauled off to jail. Then they came out and said it wasn't him, that it was somebody else. And I'm gonna tell you, if this turns into another one of the situations like the two attempts on President Trump's life, where we don't get any information and the government starts covering stuff up, that I don't know how much more the American people are going to be able to handle of the government's interference or the deep state's interference in our right to know what's going on and the dissemination of information. But this is just another stark reminder of why we need to be vigilant when we're in public about what's going on around us. The happy days of just walking around blindly are gone. Remember Charlie's family and friends in prayer. I can't imagine what his wife is going through. 2 small children. It's so sad. It's so sad. But it seems like anytime anybody speaks out about the radical left, that they become a target. And it's just showing that MAGA and the Republicans are really the voice of reason, and they are the party of love. It seems to be the Democrats that seem to be the party of violence. And be curious to see how they spin this one, and if they figure out what the shooter is. You know that if he ends up being a Democrat, they won't say that in the news. If he's a Republican, it will come out just like that. But again, be careful out there, and be aware of your surroundings, and don't put yourself in a position to where you can be a victim. Till next time, y'all stay safe out there.